True power rarely shouts its presence. Instead, it whispers from the shadows. Throughout history, the greatest masters of strategy, from the ancient wisdom of Sun Tzu to the cunning insights of Machiavelli, have taught that real control does not come from overt displays of force or loud proclamations. Rather, true mastery is achieved by those who remain silent, who harness the art of observation, restraint, and calculated silence. In a world filled with noise and constant chatter, the power of quiet observation and deliberate inaction stands as a formidable weapon. This video explores the psychology behind the archetypal villain, the strategist who operates from the shadows, examining how silence and control form the bedrock of effective, enduring power. We will delve into ancient texts, modern applications, and the inner workings of the mind that allow one to command respect and influence without ever raising one's voice. The philosophy of silence. Silence is far more than the mere absence of sound. It is a state of presence, a deliberate pause that communicates volumes without a single word. In the realm of strategy and power, silence is a sophisticated language, a medium through which one can observe, reflect, and plan without revealing one's inner workings. The philosophy of silence suggests that when you choose to remain silent, you create space for thought, analysis, and anticipation. In contrast to the chaotic noise of constant speech, silence acts as a clarifying lens, focusing attention on subtle cues and hidden dynamics. For the strategic mind, silence is akin to a blank canvas on which possibilities are painted slowly and deliberately. It is the calm before the storm, a moment when the world slows down and every detail becomes significant. In this state, the silent strategist listens not only to what is said but also to what is left unsaid. This capacity for deep listening and observation is a hallmark of true power. When a leader or a villain cultivates silence, they gain the ability to discern the undercurrents of conversation, to pick up on the faintest hints of intention, and to recognize the vulnerabilities of those around them. Silence also serves as a shield. By withholding one's thoughts, the strategist prevents adversaries from deciphering one's plans or emotions. In a political or military context, revealing too much, even inadvertently, can be disastrous. The masters of strategy, therefore, learn to cultivate a quiet demeanor that speaks of confidence and control. They understand that every word spoken is a potential window into their true intentions. The silence they maintain is not born of shyness or timidity, but of a deep understanding of the value of discretion. The art of control. Control, in the context of power and strategy, is not synonymous with overt dominance or coercion. True control lies in the subtle manipulation of circumstances and the environment. It is the art of influencing outcomes by controlling the flow of information and managing one's own reactions. In this respect, control is as much an internal state as it is an external tactic. The strategic use of control involves an acute awareness of timing. Just as a master chess player calculates every move, the true strategist studies the battlefield, whether literal or metaphorical, and chooses the exact moment to act. This sense of timing is nurtured through a disciplined mind and a calm heart, achieved through deliberate silence and deep observation. Control is the ability to pause, reflect, and then act decisively when the moment is right. A central element of control is emotional mastery. The ability to remain calm in the face of chaos and uncertainty is a sign of inner strength and self-discipline. Those who wield true power do not allow their emotions to dictate their actions. Instead, they control their impulses, restrain their reactions, and use the energy of their emotions to fuel thoughtful decision-making. This emotional control, combined with the art of silence, creates a formidable presence that is both mysterious and intimidating. Furthermore, control is maintained through the careful management of one's public persona. Leaders who master control are adept at crafting an image that commands respect without revealing too much. They understand that the less their adversaries know about their inner workings, the less vulnerable they become. This is why many of history's most formidable figures have been characterized by a reserved, even enigmatic, demeanor. Their silence becomes a strategic tool, a way to maintain authority and exert influence without expending unnecessary energy on empty rhetoric. Sun Tzu and Machiavelli. To truly understand the principles of silence and control, one must turn to the ancient texts and timeless philosophies that have shaped the art of strategy. Sun Tzu, in his classic treatise The Art of War, emphasizes the importance of winning without fighting. He advocates for strategies that focus on intelligence, deception, and the careful use of silence. Sun Tzu writes that the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. This principle underscores the notion that true power is exercised not through force, but through strategic restraint and subtle influence. Sun Tzu's teachings illustrate that a well-timed pause can be more devastating than a volley of arrows. By remaining silent and observing the enemy's movements, a commander can anticipate weaknesses, exploit vulnerabilities, and ultimately dictate the terms of engagement without the need for overt confrontation. His work is a testament to the power of observation and the effective use of silence as a weapon. Similarly, Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance political philosopher best known for The Prince, offers a perspective on power that is both pragmatic and unsentimental. Machiavelli contends that rulers must be both loved and feared, but if they cannot be both, it is better to be feared. His insights reveal that maintaining control often requires a careful balance between restraint and decisive action. Machiavelli's advice to leaders, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both," reflects the idea that overt displays of power can backfire, leading to instability and rebellion. Instead, a ruler who governs with measured silence and strategic control can create an aura of inevitability, compelling obedience through the quiet assurance of their presence. The psychology of the villain. At the heart of the discussion on silence and control lies the archetypal villain, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of power and manipulation. The villain in literature and real life is often portrayed as someone who thrives in the shadows, using silence as a tool to manipulate others and maintain control. This psychological profile is not necessarily a prescription for unethical behavior, but rather an exploration of how certain personality traits, when honed with precision, can lead to a form of power that is both feared and respected. Villains are frequently depicted as individuals who possess an uncanny ability to remain calm and composed, even in the most turbulent circumstances. Their silence is not a sign of weakness or indecision. Rather, it is a deliberate choice to withhold information, control the narrative, and unsettle their adversaries. This reserved demeanor allows them to observe their environment with a heightened sense of awareness, picking up on subtle cues that others might miss. Their ability to listen more than they speak grants them insights into the fears, desires, and motivations of those around them, information that can be used to manipulate and control. Moreover, the psychological makeup of a villain often includes traits such as narcissism, paranoia, and a deep-seated need for control. These individuals are driven by a desire to dominate their environment and exert influence over others. Their strategic use of silence becomes a mechanism for maintaining power. By choosing not to reveal too much, they protect themselves from vulnerability and maintain an air of mystery. This mystique not only makes them unpredictable but also instills a sense of fear and uncertainty in their opponents. The villain's reliance on silence and control can also be seen as a form of psychological defense. In a world that demands constant communication and self-expression, the choice to remain silent is a radical act of self-preservation. It is an assertion that true power does not need to be validated by the noise of constant chatter. Instead, it is cultivated in the depths of restraint, where every word, or the lack thereof, is carefully measured and executed with precision. The science behind silence as an instrument of dominance. Modern psychology and neuroscience provide intriguing insights into the power of silence as a tool for control and influence. Research has shown that silence can have a profound effect on the human mind, creating an atmosphere of introspection and heightened awareness. When individuals are exposed to silence, their brain waves slow down, their stress levels decrease, and their cognitive functions become more focused. This state of mental clarity can enhance decision-making and foster deeper insights into one's own behavior and the behaviors of others. In the context of strategic interactions, silence functions as a nonverbal cue that communicates confidence and authority. People are naturally drawn to those who exhibit calm, measured responses. When an individual remains silent, they compel others to fill the void with their own words, often revealing more than they intended. This phenomenon, known as the silence effect, is a powerful psychological tool. It allows the silent strategist to guide conversations, extract information, and ultimately shape the dynamics of interpersonal relationships. The precision of silence as a strategic instrument is not a matter of chance. There is a precise science behind knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet. In negotiations, for instance, strategic pauses can unsettle opponents, creating a psychological pressure that forces them to reveal their hand. In high-stakes situations, a well-timed silence can serve as both shield and sword, a shield that protects one's inner thoughts from prying eyes, and a sword that strikes when the time is right. The role of observation and patience. At the intersection of silence and control lies the critical skill of observation. The silent strategist is not merely a passive observer, rather, they are an active gatherer of information. Like a lion in the savannah that waits patiently for the opportune moment to strike, the master of silence watches and listens, absorbing every detail of the environment. This patient observation allows them to gain insights that are often hidden from those who rush to speak or act impulsively. Observation is an art form that requires discipline and mindfulness. It is about being fully present in each moment, noticing the nuances of behavior, the shifts in energy, and the subtle cues that reveal deeper truths. This ability to observe without judgment grants the silent strategist an advantage in understanding the motivations and vulnerabilities of those around them. When combined with the power of silence, observation transforms into a potent tool for strategic planning and control. The psychological benefits of patient observation extend to self-awareness as well. By taking the time to observe our own thoughts and behaviors, we can identify patterns, understand our triggers, and develop strategies to manage our emotions. This introspection is a key element in building the inner strength required to wield silence and control effectively. It is a process of continuous learning and refinement, a journey toward mastering oneself before one can hope to master others. Strategic absence and the power of emptiness. One of the most intriguing strategies employed by the masters of silence is the deliberate use of absence. Strategic absence, or the art of emptiness, involves creating spaces where information is withheld, allowing the mind to fill in the gaps with its own projections. This absence can generate mystery, anticipation, and even a sense of superiority in those who are left guessing. Think of a magician who never reveals the secret behind a trick. The mystery heightens the impact of the performance. Similarly, when a leader or strategist intentionally withholds information, they invite others to speculate about their true intentions. This ambiguity can be a powerful tool of influence, as it forces adversaries to operate in uncertainty. The less that is revealed, the more control one retains over the narrative. Emptiness, in this context, is not a void but a fertile space for potential. It is a strategic pause that amplifies the significance of subsequent actions. By controlling what is said, and what is left unsaid, a master of silence shapes the perceptions of those around them. This controlled ambiguity is a form of psychological manipulation that can disarm opponents, inspire loyalty, and create an aura of authority that is difficult to challenge. Cultivating the mastery of silence and control. Achieving mastery over silence and control is not an innate gift reserved for a select few. It is a skill that can be cultivated through deliberate practice and self-discipline. The first step in this journey is developing self-awareness. Through practices such as meditation, journaling, and mindful reflection, one can begin to observe one's own thoughts and behaviors, identifying patterns that may undermine one's ability to remain calm and measured in challenging situations. Training oneself to be a patient observer is equally important. This involves practicing active listening, resisting the impulse to react immediately, and giving oneself the time to fully assess a situation before responding. Over time, these habits can transform one's approach to conflict and decision-making, enabling a more strategic and effective use of silence. Another crucial aspect of this cultivation is learning the art of non-reaction. Emotional self-regulation is key to maintaining control, especially in high-pressure environments. Techniques such as deep breathing, visualization, and cognitive reframing can help individuals manage their emotions and avoid impulsive responses. By mastering the ability to pause and reflect, one can transform moments of potential chaos into opportunities for strategic insight. Furthermore, it is essential to recognize the value of strategic absence. There is power in knowing when not to engage, when to let silence speak, and when to withdraw in order to gather strength. This does not imply a retreat from life, but rather a conscious choice to conserve one's energy and focus on what truly matters. In professional and personal relationships alike, the deliberate use of silence can serve as a reminder of one's inner strength and unwavering confidence. The transformative impact of a silent mind. The transformation that comes with mastering silence and control is not merely tactical, it is deeply personal and psychological. A silent mind, free from the constant barrage of internal chatter, is better able to tap into its innate wisdom. This clarity of thought leads to better decision-making, a more profound understanding of one's surroundings, and a heightened ability to perceive subtle cues that might otherwise go unnoticed. A person who has mastered silence becomes less reactive, more centered, and capable of navigating life's challenges with a steady hand. Such individuals often exude an aura of calm authority that naturally draws respect and trust. They are able to hold their ground in the face of adversity, responding to crises not with panic but with thoughtful, calculated action. This inner transformation also fosters a deeper connection with oneself. As the noise of extraneous thoughts and emotions fades away, one can begin to understand their true motivations and desires. This self-knowledge, in turn, reinforces one's ability to act in alignment with their highest values, rather than being swayed by momentary impulses or external pressures. The power of quiet mastery. In a world that is increasingly loud and chaotic, the ancient art of silence and control stands as a testament to the enduring power of subtlety. As we have explored the psychology of the villain, the strategist who thrives in the shadows, reveals that true power often lies not in the clamor of spoken words, but in the quiet mastery of observation, restraint, and deliberate action. From Sun Tzu's timeless insights on winning without fighting to Machiavelli's pragmatic observations on leadership, history is replete with examples of those who understood that real control is achieved through silence. By cultivating the ability to listen deeply, observe keenly, and act only when the moment is right, we can harness the power of silence in our own lives. Whether in personal relationships, professional endeavors, or the broader arena of public life, the principles of silence and control offer a path to greater clarity, influence, and inner strength. They remind us that sometimes, the most powerful message is the one left unsaid, and that true mastery lies in the art of quiet observation and calculated restraint. Ultimately, the legacy of the silent strategist is one of enduring influence, a reminder that the greatest power is often hidden in plain sight, waiting to be awakened by those who dare to embrace the art of silence. In the end, it is not the loudest voice that leads, but the one that understands the profound strength of quiet mastery, guiding others through the shadows toward a future defined by wisdom, balance, and genuine control.